Well, 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 would you look at the time? Welcome back, everybody, to Splasher 6 Flight Sim on here in the upper Midwest, kind of a dark, dismal, rainy, snowy, sleety day. So we are on leg number 1 of the Cadet training tour. My dad was a B-17 pilot in World War II. Ian Fisher, welcome in. We're back on the Cadet training tour on a little bit better timing schedule for you all over on across the pond. Welcome in. Good to see you. This is leg number 1 of what I call the Cadet training tour. My dad was a B-17 pilot in World War II. Every year, about around the 1st of November, when he started his training in 1942, around the 1st of November, we start a multi-leg, week by week. Good to know. Let's see. Let's turn down the music. We'll get that down way low. We start a multi-week testing 1, 2. Is that better? I brought down the level way down. And we fly to all of the locations where my dad trained and also ferried a B-17 over the North Atlantic route. Starting over, this is leg 1 of what I call the Cadet training tour. My dad was a B-17 pilot in World War II, and every year around the 1st of November, I start a commemorative flight series that flies to all the locations where he trained and also stopped at on the way over on the North Atlantic route when they ferried a B-17 over. So today is Santa Ana, California, or the closest airport we could find, John Wayne International. He trained at Santa Ana in cadets, and I had up here photos. So I was hoping that I had a little autopilot function on the Stearman. But there's my dad as a United States Army Air Force cadet in November of 1942. This is December of 42. And we'll have some... yes, Ian, I wanted to make sure that I did this on a Saturday afternoon. That works out best for me. Weekdays, of course, and weeknights. Weekdays don't work good because I still have a full-time job and I'm at work. But weekends, we'll be doing this every weekend for the next 13 weeks or so. And hopefully inform everybody a little bit more about the life of a B-17 pilot in World War II. But today we are in Santa Ana, John Wayne. We are at KSNA, Kilo Sierra November Alpha. And we're probably going to take off on 20 left. Looks like the wind is favoring 20 left. The other thing I need to remind myself to do is to get myself out of mute on Discord if anybody wants to join me. There we go. Got that taken care of. Back to OBS. And there. But he started at Santa Ana. I have a ton of pictures. I have not been able to get the autopilot to light up yet on the. I have it. I have the Stearman altered for a rudimentary autopilot, and I was not able to get it started up here a minute ago, but we'll see. A couple hundred miles, and we're going to have to be at about 8,500, 9,000 feet to climb over the mountains up to. Hey, Ian, how you doing? Good to hear you, mate. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, perfectly understood. Yeah, uh, that 6 hour difference is rough. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yep, yep, yeah. No worries. Oh yeah, not too long, but about another year and a half, I'll be um, eligible for retirement. So not getting close, getting close. Yeah, we're gonna do this in the Stearman. Um, I've got some pictures from the time when he was at Santa Ana. I hope I'll be able to hand fly and do the photos. But we do this once a year. Takes about 13 weeks, 13 different legs to get through the states, and then to Thorpe Abbott's, where he was. I don't see you or on any. Are you on any different server? No, um, should be Timbo on Southeast Asia. But let me do before we get up in the air. Let's take care of this. I see you. At least your name tag anyway. Let's take care of maybe this will help. Multipliers cycle is off, and we'll give it about a 5 count. 2, 3, 4, 5, and back on. See if that helps. Save and back. Resume. I hope this cloudy, socked in weather doesn't follow us all the way up the coast. I'm hoping not, because I don't have that navigation capabilities on the old Stearman. It's kind of like I follow rivers or I follow roads. um, yeah. Turning around here to see if Timbo shows up. Well, now you're not coming back, Timbo. I don't know. Olasobo is fiddling with things in the background, so let's see if we can get the gas Stearman version started up here. I'm not going to play around with it. We're going to go see if we can get it ready for taxi, if they'll go through the startup procedure. Done. Oh, awesome. Oh, awesome. All right. I think we've got mixture. Oh, drat. Okay, come on, you. All right, let's try it again. See if this does this again. I have a bit of a hard time starting this thing last time. Did we not want to do that? Yeah, let's get rid of the notepad then and just go the good old reliable Control E. Come on. All right, we're running. Anyway, this is not about my proficiency on the Stearman. This stream is about my dad and his journey as a pilot. So it's story time. So let's see, left and right. got ailerons working. We got elevators working. Now the question is if I'm going to be able to make this turn. I love it when they point us. Well, let's just take care of this with this. There. Made it on purpose to get myself in a spot where I was close to the runway. So, all right, let's taxi out. Timbo's looks like he's on the threshold, ready to take off. I see him. Wow. Oh, boy. I've talked to him quite a bit about it. I went to 5 different bomb group reunions with him, with the 100th Bomb Group. And yeah, I've got a lot of this from verbal from him. He passed away in 2008 at the age of 90. But I got to spend a lot of time with him. I lived close to him, only about an hour and a half away in my adulthood. And we went to 5 different bomb group reunions. And yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was able to, I had the great opportunity to meet all of his crew members except 2 over the years. And I was always aware that he was a B-17 pilot from almost the time that I can remember. But it doesn't, as a young person, it doesn't weigh on you. It doesn't, the impact isn't, the gravity of the impact of the situation doesn't come around until you get older and live your own life and learn your own lessons. I see your tag, Timbo, but I did not see your plane. Oh, goodness. We might fiddle around with the weather here. I'm not liking this layer we've got here. So let's Oh yeah, he'd have been too young. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. 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 I get it. Mhm. Wow. Yeah. Mhm. It it really is. I had it told to me um, of a way to come to understand it, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But why would you want to tell your loved ones about the worst things you've ever seen? He, that that's ever happened to you, and then the things that you've seen. And the stories I would get from Dad were mostly not of the rough times. They had a mission. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I can understand that from that point of view. I mean, it would be hard to relate things like that of the horrors that you've seen if you were in combat and at that level. So that's how I've kind of come to terms with it. Dad, I got a lot of stories from knowing the crew, and being at the reunions with the other crew, but I'd say to Dad, um, um, well, like Smitty would say, this, and this about this story, and Dad's standard answer was, "We were too busy flying the damn plane. we we didn't know what was going on half the time because, yeah." So, I mean, they had the radio and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, and flying formation. You know how difficult formation flying is. Just think about how tough it is in the sim. You know, I mean, you're constantly adjusting throttles and dealing with the wind and drift so I can relate to that. I mean, they had their hands full. The two of them did. So we're going to a few clouds until we get out of the valley here, and it looks like up north it's going to clear up as we fly north. So let's get our heading. 222. Real? No, 303 is going to take us to King City. So 303. So we'll get that on the ballpark. All right, let's get up in the air. We got a couple of hours of flight to go here. And Foxtrot's checking in. Timbo's still saying, never mind, got you now. Okay, good to hear. Flox is saying, I can attest to that. Formation flying is hard. My bumper is hard. Is my bumper sticker on my 17? Let's see. Wish I could join in. Cannot at the moment. Dag nabbit. Oh, that's okay. You flew along quite a bit last night. We did a little attempted B-17 flight from Cheyenne down to Hobbs, New Mexico to deliver a new B-17 out of the Cheyenne Mod Center. So let's get up in the air and see if how the old steerman will treat us today. Now, Dad did not train in a steerman, and we'll get to that on our flight here. Nice and easy, dancing on the pedals. 70 knots we should be able to fly. Although many airmen cadets trained in the steerman, Dad did not. He trained in the Ryan PT-22. Let's get the altimeter. All right, what did that have? I just lost everything for some reason. Don't know why. Are we back? Yep. I don't know what happened there. All right. It just cut out and wanted to stop for a minute. All right, we're coming a right turn here off to the right, and we're headed around to about 300 degrees. He trained in a single wing Ryan PT-22. I'm guessing it just happened to be the plane that was available at King City at the time. But on the next leg, I'll have several pictures of that. Oh, 300 degrees, getting too far north. Oh, good. At least the track is on my compass up here in the upper left. That will help a lot. That will help a lot. We're going to take another stab at getting the autopilot to wake up. I have a Stream Deck, and I loaded a default autopilot profile, and I've gotten it to work with the B17, the new MicroProse B17. And I had it working on a test flight a couple nights ago with this plane, but so far, I don't know. Ooh, okay, it's staying on. We might have a functioning autopilot. Okay. Say, let's go altitude hold. Nope. No. Okay, we got to set it first. Altitude. Yeah. You bet. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh. Oh. Yeah. So you had Harvards. You had T6s. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, one plane that was available over here for. Oh, we got Discord problems. Okay, hang on. Hold tight. This usually happens. They're not hearing you in Discord. Ian, let's see. I got to fix it. We'll get it. This happens every time I start a stream lately. Don't know why, but I've got to go in and reset. Where is it? And I never can find it. Flight Sim 2024. Discord. There. Let's try that. All right, give me a test or two.
Okay, how's that? This is me for your stream.
Yep, I got needles now.
You're good?
I got view meters, so you should be good.
Great. Hello, Flux. Good evening.
Dad did his twin engine training in the Avro Anson. He had about He had about 60 hours. Apparently they had the Avro Anson available for him at Stockton, where he took his advanced, and he had about 6 hours in the T6 Texan, and I think at that point they came to the conclusion that he was not going to be a fighter pilot. He could not do aerobatics very well, but he could fly level and straight. He was
perfect for a bomber pilot.
Yes.
That's exactly what you need.
That's
level
what they needed.
Straight.
And it must have been that they needed bomber pilots at the time. Well, they always did, but
absolutely.
Okay, so we got AP Master on. Okay, so let's dial in a little bit of vertical speed. Are we going to get that? Hang on. This is still kind of a learning curve. Oh, we don't want to go that fast. I'm looking at my.
I didn't realize Stearman's had autopilot. Mine doesn't.
They don't. I have a Stream Deck Plus, and I have a profile loaded for default, kind of like default autopilot that works generically, and it's taking Sim Connect readings from the sim, and it's just giving me a basic rudimentary heading,
wings level, altitude hold, that sort of thing. Gotcha.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've got this. This is the Golden Age one, isn't it? The
Yes, it
Golden
is.
Age.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. We've had this for a long, long time. I've got this, and I've got the DC Designs one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer this one. But this is very, it's like 20, 15 years old now.
Well,
It's very old.
for us at MSFS, it's fairly new, but they went out of
Oh,
business.
right. Yes, they did. I
Golden,
know that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Golden Age hung it up.
yeah, 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 yeah. The developer, yeah, he retired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but luckily I had them all anyway. So all
Yeah.
the ones for P3D anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is one of his early ones, very early ones, but still
All
good.
right. Still trying to get. Let's go heading hold. And see if we can get a heading. Okay. All right. It's going to go to the right here, but I'm correcting it, so bear with me. Okay. I got it on heading. Coming around. .307, 306. Then when I turn the knob, I've got a Stream Deck Plus. So when I turn the knobs for the heading, there's kind of a lag. so I've got to kind of. All right. So are we level flight? I thought this had a climb indicator on it. Climb and descent. It does not. Okay. So 80 knots. We're still good there. We're on heading. I got it set at 4,000. So let's go. That down just a little bit. Okay, I'm getting a response on the climb indicator. On the number. I'm at 500 feet a minute, which should be plenty good for a steerman. So we'll wait till we get to about 4,000 and see if we level off, and then we'll know we're doing all right. Yeah, so Cadets was in Santa Ana. They had a huge base there, and that was mostly ground training. There was no flight involved. It was learning how to exist in the military, and marching, calisthenics, and things like that. Learning the ins and outs, saluting, and the hierarchy of the military. And we get things settled out here. I've got we got a follow from Jouta, Jouta. I'm going to assume that's Spanish, and I'm going to say Jouta. Welcome in. Welcome to Splasher 6 Flight Sim. We are on what I call the Cadet Training Tour. And we are flying from Santa Ana, California to King City today on the first leg. And there's our 4,000 feet. That looks good. Okay, good. I want to see vertical speed leveling off here. 160, 150. It overshoots a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. Not too worried about that. 55. Good. That looks good. Okay. So, next thing is we're going to dial in. What did we say earlier from Little Nav Map? 8,500, I think. Yeah, it says 75, but I'd feel better at 85. All right. We're going to dial up our number. There's 5,000. There's 6,000. Got to turn the knob really slow. 82. Well, overshot it. Back down. 81. 8,000. No, we wanted 85. Never mind. There we go. 85. Okay, now dial in about 200 or 300 vertical speed. 4, 5. Okay, so I don't have to punch the VS hold button. It just it's going to climb when I turn the knob. Okay. Learning the ins and outs of how this Stream Deck controls. And it looks like we're on course. That looks good. Good. So I had these dialed up earlier. So here's October of 42, and he's on the train ride from his home in southwest Iowa out to California. And these are unknown fellow train riders, but they are in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not Nevada, Las Vegas, New Mexico. And I did a little Google searching a couple years ago, and this train station is still in existence. It's a city-owned community center now. The railroad still goes through, but not any passenger service. But they have spent a bunch of money and renovated this building. It's a beautiful building. Glad to know that they saved it. Again, Las Vegas, New Mexico. October of 1942, so you're going to see a lot of military personnel being transported across the U.S. by train. And there we are, late fall of 43. That's my dad. And this badge he's wearing right here, I still have. And it's in pretty good condition. The barracks, probably. I have somewhere in here some aerial photos of Santa Ana. Excuse me. Looks like we're at 5,400 feet, 500 feet a minute, airspeed 69. I'm going to put it a little, I need to pull back a little bit on mixture. Lean things out just a wee bit. Put a little bit more power in. like to get that up to about 2,000 RPM. Increase that airspeed. And okay, so if y'all are watching, y'all know what's going on here. But when I was a little kid, um, my dad had this photo at hand all the time. He was pretty serious most of the time, but he was a jokester. He was a prankster, and he had a good sense of humor. And he'd show me this picture, and he'd say, "I bet you didn't know I was flexible, this flexible as a young man." And I go, "Dad, how'd you do that? There's like no way. You, you can bend over backwards and like turn your feet and bring your legs over your head." And it's like, "Yeah, I sure could. You bet. I was real he lay it on thick, and didn't ever let me off the hook. I had to figure it out for myself. I think one of my older sisters told me, what was up, that there's another guy behind him, and and the other clever thing is they use the wall behind him to, fool the depth of field. You it doesn't look like there's enough room behind him to fit another human being. So he was pretty clever. But yep, there's another guy behind him with his legs draped over his shoulders. So it wasn't all serious training. Here's a couple of his buddies. Um, I have not done any research to find out what their path was beyond um, cadet training in Santa Ana, but I know one of them. I think it's this Bus Limbaugh. He shows up later on in some either primary or advanced photos that Dad has of the group he hung out with. So there were some that got sent in the same direction that Dad did. Limback, not Limbaugh. Um, the other thing is, why are they picking guys from the Midwest to go to a far off Western state for training unless they didn't have any cadet training bases in the Midwest? I don't know. I've never researched that. $7,400 feet, still climbing 500 feet a minute. Airspeed 69. RPM 1970. Looking good. We will. I don't have a whole lot of pictures. Some of them are duplicates. Yeah, sometimes it was called pre-flight. Sometimes it was called cadets. So let's hop out of that. Approaching 8,000. Still climbing at 500 feet a minute. Oil pressure looks good. Cylinder head temperature 400 degrees. Oil temp 200. I think we're looking all right. Timbo down below us. And Los Angeles down below us. Uh-oh. Things are kind of jumping around. Looks like LAX down here. Get a screenshot. Looks like we're leveling out at 8,500. That looks good. Course looks good.
Right, I've just landed.
Cool. Did you say Alaska somewhere? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a flight the Misfits are doing tomorrow. Ratty's put it together.
Oh, cool.
And I
Whereabouts?
just wanted to. It's around Denali.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Central Valley.
Yeah, there's a lake north, and our mission is to take passengers to a lake at the south that go across the Denali Range.
Okay.
So if you do a straight line, you need like 16,000 feet to get over. But the thing is, we're in Cubs.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. So we've
Yeah.
been given a mission, and the routing is our own.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just done a route to the north, and the most altitude I get is over one ridge at 7,000.
Oh, you should be good
But it's
then.
a knife edge ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just pre-run it now just to make sure I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we've got weather considerations as well.
Right.
And we're through the mountains. If we've got anything lower than like 8,000 or 9,000 feet, we're in trouble. You can't go because you can't see.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at the weather tomorrow and see what it's like.
Gotta watch.
Obviously we've got a passenger, got Heidi in. So this thing doesn't climb at the best of speeds anyway. It's only a 65 horsepower engine, whatever.
Right. Right.
You know, so it really struggles. So anything you do, you need to give it lots of time.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately on takeoff, I started to rise, to fly up to 7,000.
Oh, right.
You know,
yeah.
To get over the mountains, you can't suddenly decide to do it last minute.
No.
Because it only climbs at 200 or 300 feet per minute, if that.
Yeah.
So I think it worked. Well, it did work because I'm here.
Good.
We're on skis. So we could either take the floats and go from the lakes, but I didn't fancy all that drag of the floats up high through the mountains. There's a lot of drag. We could take the normal tires, the normal wheel tires. We could take the Tundra tires for gravel stuff.
Sure.
And I just fancied taking the skis as we're in winter, all snow here. So obviously I've got the Orbex Alaska pack, which gives you seasons. So we have snow.
Very nice.
So,
cool.
So that's what I've done. So I've got the skis on. We've gone through there. We know that works through that valley, down through there. So that should be good for tomorrow.
Super.
Should be good.
Wonderful. So. Yeah, at least with the skis on, you've got some opportunity, in case something happens. At least you can
absolutely.
You can put down somewhere. Yeah,
because there's it's just glaciers below us, pretty much most of the time, apart from when we're going over the knife edge mountains.
Right.
But yeah, you can usually find a spot. What you do when you get there is another thing, of course, because you'd never get out.
Right.
At least you'd be safe.
Right. Yeah.
Fire off the emergency beacon and wait for help.
Yeah. Or if you can afford it, bring your GPS phone, your satellite phone.
That's it.
If it's a modern flight.
Yeah. Come and help. So, all good.
Well, let's see. We've leveled off. We're at 8,500. We're doing good. We're still. Oh boy, a little hesitation there. I did the B-17 flight last night, and I had a crash.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a traditional CTD like we normally see in MSFS, but it was like both. I have two screens. I have the flight screen in front of me, and then I have the OBS screen to my left. They're both
Sure.
32-inch monitors, and they just went black.
Ah.
Totally black. And I could still hear the guys talking to me on Discord.
Right,
But
that's a graphics crash then, isn't it? That's
I think
the
so.
graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a graphics card issue.
I've got a
Or a WASM. WASM.
okay, that could be. Um, it happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's happened before, and I can't remember how long ago, but it seemed like it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was just flying with somebody else on their stream, and didn't think of it. I just figured it was something. I've got an AMD 7900 XTX, the top of the line of the 7000 series. So it's and it's only a year old on a new build, and it's been rock solid up to there. But and I had GPU-Z, the little utility you can watch temperatures with. I had it going earlier in the stream because I was earlier in the day yesterday. I was fiddling around with fan settings. Okay, so I have a fan app called Fan Control, and it lost all of its settings over the last 3 or 4 months. So it was kind of like running everything at like 75% all the time, which it's not desirable. You want to ramp them down when you're just fiddling on the internet, and ramp them up when you got a load like now. So I did all that yesterday afternoon, and I was monitoring it during the stream last night, and everything's running fine. Temperatures. Hotspot on the GPU was like 80, and the average was like 56. What I've always read is you don't worry about temperatures, CPU or GPU, until you get into the 90s or close to 100. That's when the thermal throttling starts to come in.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you've heard?
Pretty much so. Pretty much so, yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Obviously, you want to stay in the sort of 70 to 80 range.
Yeah.
For longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can run it hotter, but you run. It's like anything, you run a car flat out all the time. It's going to wear out earlier.
Oh yeah. Same with electronics.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So earlier in the stream, I had the GPU fans were running at like 80% speed, and the temperatures were fine. They were in the 70s or so, maybe the low 70s, but it was a little bit loud. So I dialed it down to about 75% to the GPU fan speed. So I went along with that, and everything looked fine. The CPU was fine. It was in the 50s. I've got a liquid cooler on a 9800 X3D, and it's never overheated. So yeah, not sure what was going on with that. I've had a power supply go out on me before, but that's a whole machine shut off when it gets to when it hits a limit or something. And for a while I had a 7900 XT AMD card on a 750 watt power supply, and I think it was just too much. And I've got 4K monitors, so I think that was just too much for the little for the little 750. So I got 1,000 watt, and that's what I've got in this rig too. So I don't know, hard to tell.
Yeah, it's unlikely the CPU.
Right.
Causing those problems. If you get issues with the CPU, as you say, it's more likely to be throttling. Performance lags. It doesn't just crash.
Right.
The crashes is more. In my experience, I mean, I'm no expert. In my experience, it's more like the graphics drivers. When you see a black screen, it's certainly a visual thing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's more likely on the graphics side.
Yep.
Than it will be the CPU side.
Good to know. I just updated the drivers for AMD just a few days ago. They've been on a pretty regular 1 month update schedule with AMD drivers, and
it's interesting you say that, because I do the opposite. If it ain't broke, I don't fix it.
I know.
My drivers are probably over a year old.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, they bring them out every year, every month.
Yeah.
And I look at the change log, and it's for this game, or it's compatibility for the Xbox,
right,
or it's getting ready for the PS5, or it's doing this.
You're
that's got nothing to do with my simulator.
Good point.
Yep. So I leave it alone.
Yep.
There's just no point.
Are you running NVIDIA? Are you in NVIDIA?
Yeah. Got 5090.
Yeah, I had a 3070 for a while. Yep.
Yeah. So it's old.
I understand your point, because I've watched the news come through about, and I think it's settled down now, but there was a time period like earlier this year, late last year, where NVIDIA was having a lot of trouble with their drivers, and people were updating and having crashes and all kinds of trouble, and I understand, if this pops up again, if this happens again, I'm probably going to be looking at rolling back.
Yeah, absolutely.
The previous one.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Because you think when the sim was designed, 2-3 years ago, that's the driver that the developers were using when they designed it.
Exactly. Yep.
The sim itself doesn't know about the latest drivers. It doesn't expect to see them. It's only for the latest AAA games. Right. The ones that are coming out now, like your Call of Duty and your Battlefield. That you need. That you need to update the driver for. That sim was designed 2, 3, 4 years ago, whatever it was, and so that's, from my point of view, that's the driver I'm looking at using.
Kata Tanari's chiming in. She says, I stopped updating NVIDIA. The driver I have works. Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point of view. That's my point.
Yeah.
I think there's more issues, with the crashes and the WASMs caused by the drivers than the actual CPU. My experience, the CPU, if that goes wrong, it's just a bit of stuttering or bottlenecking or waiting for the processor to catch up.
Right.
More than an actual black screen. Frozen CTU, WASM, that's all graphics.
And I shouldn't have any bottlenecks. I mean, this has got 24 gig of VRAM on this card, so the sim should run. And I've run on Ultra ever since I got this card and had no problems at all. So
no, it's very unlikely unless it is faulty, but then you'd know that by now anyway.
I think it would show up if it was faulty. I think
straight away.
I think it would show up more frequently.
The issue. You'd run out of VRAM, or your temperatures would spike. It wouldn't be able to cool. So it's not that. As I say, I'm not an expert.
I bought this. I bought this card from Amazon open box source. And it came boxed very nicely. You could tell it had been opened, but there was no outward physical damage to it, and it's run like a champ from the beginning, and it was just like, oof, I the old budget just doesn't justify $1,000 for a graphics card.
Yeah.
But and then I got this one for about $820, something like that. Kate is chiming in again here. I want to, at minimum, update my processor. Curious to see how much I can drive the RTX 3060 when it doesn't need to wait on the CPU. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I forget, Kate. Are you running AMD processor or an older Intel? I knew you had the 3060.
Yeah, it's all about getting the balance, isn't it, between the two?
Really
it's
is.
no good having a brilliant, top of the line graphics card and then struggling with the CPU that you can't benefit from, and the other way around as well. You should have a balanced system.
The sim would run fine on a 3060. Intel i5 11th gen. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's.
Jack. Jack's coming in. Hello, mate.
A little ways back, but not bad.
Jack says you used to have a 7900 XTX, and you do have to do a small undervolt on it. Otherwise, I
think I did
crashing.
that. I'll have to go into my BIOS, and that's a possibility. We had DH Paradox recently was having crashes like 2 minutes, anywhere from 2 minutes to 30 minutes into loading the sim, and he on a new system, just a month-old system.
Oh, right.
And he went in and updated his BIOS on his was it an MSI board or Asus? It was an Asus board, and it fixed everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
32 gig, 3200 DDR4. Gotcha. Yep. I bought the components for this rig at, we have a place called Micro Center here in the States.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
Yeah. They have very well educated and trained personnel there who know their shit, so to speak. And I went in. I went out to visit my sister in Denver, and they have a Micro Center. We don't have one here in our town. And I had my list pretty much shopped out last fall when I was
Welcome back, Jack. Welcome back.
Figuring out what I was going to build, and I went through with him and with one other people, and he didn't have any changes for what I spec'd out. So he was going, oh yeah, that's a good choice. Yep. I told him I already had the card, the XTX, and
well, that's good confirmation of your choices, isn't it? From somebody in the business who does it all day long.
Yeah, it made me feel good, and so.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I would say if it happens again, I mean, you never know why these things happen anyway.
Oh, I know.
Really, at the end of the day,
really.
People say, "Oh, I know what that was. I know what that was." It's a funny 5 minutes. It has one,
Right.
You have brand new Sims and it'll go off, or you can have a 10-year-old machine and it'll happen. So
yeah.
But from what you said, I agree. Roll back a little bit.
I think that's probably what I'll do first if it does it again.
Yeah.
We were all trying to help DH in his dilemma here about a week or two ago, and I think he reinstalled Windows, he reinstalled the sim. He did
really?
He did a lot.
You don't need to go to that extreme.
He did a lot of stuff because he was a little wary about getting into the BIOS and updating the BIOS. And finally he went ahead and did that, and it's been solid for a couple days, so hasn't had any problems. Yeah. Well, let's. I got a few more pics here to share. Dad's time at. Almost said Thorpe Abbott's, but that's not right. Santa Ana. This is a duplicate. There's some in here. Another picture of railroad. Fred Harvey's Las Vegas, New Mexico. I don't know what Fred Harvey's mean, but I'm pretty sure this was the train station because I looked it up a couple years ago and went on Google Maps, and the building's still there, and it's been nicely renovated. But I'm not sure what Fred Harvey's is.
Could be a burger place or a coffee shop. Or
could be. Who knows?
Yeah.
Here's another one of his group of buddies at Santa Ana. No names. No names. I think I see a couple faces that show up in other pictures, but pretty.
This is initial training before he went to the squadrons. Then.
Yeah. This is so what he would call cadets, but it's it's called. It's not primary, but
elementary training.
Yeah,
first,
it's the first step.
First
Learning the military and marching and physical calisthenics and stuff like that. So I think this goes about back around to the beginning. Oh no, here we go. This is an aerial shot of Santa Ana. And all of this is like right in the middle of Southern California, south of LA.
It doesn't look like that today, does it?
No. Yeah, freeways all around it. And for a while, it was the location of like a community college because there's like 600 acres here. And this was taken in July of 43, so not too long from when he was there. Not a very sharp picture. But of course, no runways at the time. Not sure what they had a lot of what Dad would call parade grounds, where you'd march, open fields, things like that. So this is okay. So this is going back a little bit. There's no order here to some of these photos. Get a date here, May of 42. So my dad was older. He graduated high school in like 1935. So he was born in 18. So at this time in life, he had been through a few years of college. And that was one thing that qualified him to be able to get into the cadets program. You had to have 2 years of college. And so what he did was he knew what his draft number was, and they post the draft numbers in the paper every certain amount of time. And he didn't want to go into the Army, Navy, or Marines. He couldn't swim, so the Navy was out. As he put it, he didn't want to be a ground pounder, so the Army was out. But he'd always had an interest in flying. Straight out of high school, he enrolled at the University of Michigan in aeronautical engineering. Straight out of high school, and he flunked out in the first semester. The math was just too much above. He said he couldn't handle the math. So came back home, got a job, worked for a few years, and went to junior college. Got through, and this is like, now we're up to like 37 or 38, 1937, 38. So he got through junior college, which is 2 years, and it was in his hometown. And then he went to the local university in Iowa, Iowa State University. And this is like maybe 1940. So he had, and of course the war breaks out in the end of 41. He's probably a junior, in his third year of college. So he comes back home and into to southwest Iowa, and he hires on the railroad as a fireman, and knows what his draft number is. Doesn't want to go into the army. Doesn't want to get drafted. So he knows he's going to enlist, and he waits. So he waits till about May of '42, and the group that he was with swore in on a local radio broadcast in the capital at Des Moines. So this is the what do I say, Western Union telegram he sent to his folks. We'll swear in at 4:30 today over WOI. That's the radio station. And then Algona tonight. That's a city up in northern Iowa. Don't know why he went to Algona. Don't know what was going on there. And then home Monday, Raymond. So this was a telegram to his folks, letting them know that he was going to swear in to the United States Army Air Force over the radio with a big group of other people at the time. I don't know how that came about, but there's a radio broadcast that they were sworn in on. So that's what that is all about. And then he waited. So this is May of '42. He waited until November, before November of '42 for his notification that he was going to go to Santa Ana, California for primary cadet training. And here's another stock photo I found on the internet of the entry gate at Santa Ana. Santa Ana Army Air Base, gate number 1. And nowadays, if you go to Southern California, they saved one building off of the base, and it's a little museum about the history of the base. Got it on my bucket list to go see that someday. Here's another aerial photo of Santa Ana. And hard to tell based on the buildings that are behind him where the building is that might have been that he was standing in front of. But there's a lot of barracks up here too. So I should get a Google Maps photo of. Here we go. Here's a Santa Ana Army base. This is as of 2006. So the base was kind of split in two, here and here. And one of these freeways is the 405 freeway that goes north and south through the Los Angeles Valley. And as you can see, it's all heavy residential, and there's a golf course here, and yeah. And I think this airport here is where we took off from. I think that's
John Wayne.
I think that's John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Yeah.
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 I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Heritage Museum of Orange County.
Yeah.
There's a few museums around there. I can see the golf course. That's still here, Fairview Park.
Mm-hmm.
The reptile zoo. Oh, there's a zoo there now where the that southern barracks was.
Yeah.
The reptile zoo.
Somewhere in here where my hand is right now, I don't know if that's a mall or something, but there was a community college that had their base here too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all
Huntington Beach Police Department. That's all in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oakview. Yeah. It's all changed now.
I think that is the last of the photos. I have to say, Flox is chiming in. Ian and you make a good team. Yeah.
What?
I think
you mean we're all old?
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Hubby's setting up a little museum downstairs. So far, some of the stuff on the wall. One mannequin is up. Will be a mix of Canadian and American. I want to get him some World War II prints for the wall. Oh, awesome. That would look nice, Kata. Let's see. AI, Alicia, and Kata are conversing. If he needs an authentic touch, I've got stories that'll make those mannequins blush. Just don't let them borrow my flight jacket. So I set AI Alicia up as a World War II retired fighter ace. So she comes up with a lot of references to that
comments
kind of thing.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's clever.
Mm-hmm.
That's clever.
Let's take a look outside. We got plenty of altitude to get over the mountains that I can't ever remember the name of.
Santa Clara, you're nearby, are you now? That must be the mountains there, west of that.
Mm-hmm. Big waterway there. Not sure where that is. There we got. There's Santa Clara. Santa Barbara up ahead on the left on the coast.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Chunky Flyer. Chunky Flyer checking in. Good afternoon. Taking our little flight up the coast.
Yeah, and the mountains then disappear, don't they, as they get into this little valley thing here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, off to the distance there. That's probably Santa Barbara in that area.
Yeah. Bakersfield off to the right. Santa Barbara, Santa Monica, Santa Barbara off to the left, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're about halfway on the journey, just over?
I think so. Yep, pretty close. Oh, let's see. Kata sent picture in DM. Okay. Let's check that out. Oh, wow. Yeah, cool. Nice. Okay. You mind if I share that, Kata? Let's see. Let's get back to... When I go to the 100th Bomb Group reunions every other year, there's always at least a half a dozen, and they're members now because you can join even if you're a historian or interested, is people that will come dressed in period clothing, bomber clothing.
Yeah.
And they've invested thousands in period correct, some even, from the era of the apparel, an officer's pinks, and shirt and tie right to the T with the medals and everything. Some is recreation, some not. It's amazing. Okay, let's see. We drag that over. How are we going to do that? There we go. So, Kata Tanari, who's a friend of the channel. Let's expand that. There we go. This is from her husband's collection that he's collected. So, Kata, is this World War II era, or is this a combination of different eras?
I like the Dalek in the top. That's the best bit. Fantastic.
And that is, cue me in on what that is. Is that this here?
Doctor Who, top left.
Oh, okay.
The Dalek.
Oh, the gray thing?
On the stand. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not up on Doctor Who, so.
Yeah.
He still has his grandfather's full World War II uniform and medals. Wow. Wow. That is cool. Let's see. If I zoom in, that's not. Yeah, that's. There we go. I believe this is Canadian World War II. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Don't do that. There we go.
Imagine having that in your living room. That would spook me out if I turned around and saw that
Sometime, yeah, out of the
at night.
corner of your eye, yeah. Has the full web gear, backpack, and accessories. Wow. Very good. The buttons are kind of unique looking. Heavy duty. That is awesome. I still have my dad's uniform, the jacket. I don't have the crush, the hat, but I've got his jacket. I should dig that out for some of the later flights and maybe hang that up in the background or something. It's. He was only like 5'8" and weighed maybe 140 soaking wet, but the jacket's pretty small. This might be USA 2, not 100% sure. Gotcha. Yeah. Trying to see if I can read what this is. Baker and Black. I can't zoom in any more than this. Double check with hubby. Yep. Yeah. It's got a nice book collection. Spitfire, complete fighting history. Nice. D-Day. Very nice. Nice wide variety of reference. U-boats. Submarine warfare. Small arms. Yeah, very cool. Send another pic. Okay. All right, let me minimize that. Let me get this back over to here. Close that. Uh-oh, is that going to come back? Why are we not? Why do we have that showing? Are we on Discord? Are we on? There we go. Okay. Oh yes, we were on Discord. Okay. There. So there's okay. I need to expand that. Okay, there's the larger close-up. Bauer and Black, Kendall and Company, Toronto, Ontario. Handle the gauze pad. Oh, it's a med. I bet it's a med kit. Hang on. Here's a close-up. Yeah, I bet it's a medical kit. Yeah, it says something, probably do not handle the gauze pad. Something. Yeah, I bet it's a medical kit. Yeah. Sourced from Toronto. Here's something about head wounds when respirate. Yeah, it's a med kit.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Cadet. Much appreciated. That is awesome. We'll go back over here. We'll go back there and do that. Take that back there. And then get back into OBS. And let's get back into the cockpit and make sure we're not running out of fuel. 69%. We should be good. Should be all right. And we're not on live weather. I wonder if live weather is going to treat us any better here. Let's try it. Okay. Clouds, live weather. Other than the wind. Yeah, it's going to blow us way off course. Oh, yeah. What do we got for winds? Oh, yeah, we are really... Of course, we're going over the mountains. The last worst place to switch to live weather. Let's get a little bit better there. Let's get a heading that's a little bit better. More to the right, get back closer to the line. And see what we've got for wind. We've got a 12 knot crosswind. Yep. 14 knot. So let's jump ahead at different locations here and see what Lost Hills, what are they saying there? 0. Lost Hills. 56 miles. Maricopa. What about Maricopa? 180, 3 knots. So maybe if we get over the mountains and we start coming down to like maybe 5,500, we might get out of this gusty wind situation. Okay, just be right back. Yeah, because we're getting blown all around right now. At least we got out of the clouds. Take another screenshot. Timbo not around anywhere. Did I lose you, Timbo? Might have. Tail wheel lock. Park and brake. Pitch trim, not worried about that. reaching altitude, but we want a little bit further to the right, couple of notches. Wow, and I've got no reading on my bar across the top. Wow. Sometimes that happens. I don't know what's going on with that. No matter, as long as my autopilot's working, and at least I've got heading and altitude hold. So what we'll do, since we've gone through all the photos from Santa Ana, close that. That's not where I wanted to do there. There. Babbitt's photos. Photos and documents. No, not there. Okay. Flush. Is it here? Yeah, that's right. Okay, here's the folders. Next one was King City. So since we've talked about King City and primary flight training, we'll skip ahead. And where we're heading to tonight is King City, California, and that's where he did primary, which is basically learning how to fly. Simple stick and rudder airplanes, and learning the basics of flying, taking off, landing, turns. Rudimentary basics. And there's him in his flying suit. So here's the front end of the Ryan PT-22. And my next stream, I should get... So, another story. This fall in September, I had the opportunity to take a nice trip with my son to the Pacific Northwest to visit, among other things that we did, to visit Foxtrot and Treetop, and also to go to the Air and Space Museum at McMinnville, I almost said Ohio, McMinnville, Oregon. The primary reason for going there is my son's grandfather on his mom's side was a carpenter in the late 40s in California, and he was hired on by the Hughes Corporation to work on the Spruce Goose. And the Spruce Goose is now stored indoors and climate controlled at McMinnville, Oregon. So we went to visit there, and amongst the other display of vintage and World War II aircraft they had a Link trainer, they had a Ryan PT-22, They had a North American T6, and the other plane that Dad trained in was a Vultee Valiant. So they had all four of the things that Dad trained in, all in one space. And I've got the pictures. I need to load them into the next for the next flight. So that was amazing to have. I've seen all of those things individually at different museums before, but not all in the same place in the same museum. Couple of Dad's buddies at King City. There's another shot of the Ryan PT-22. And finally, we've got some names. And Art Lowry was one of them, and he died in a P-39. I remember Dad telling me about him. Nice guy. Let's see. Yeah, not sure where this is or what this has to do. I think Dad trained with this guy, but I'm not sure what became of him. There we go. Don McDougall. I think this is the guy that he was with. At least it looks like him. He was with at Santa Ana. Another shot of his buddies in the PT-22. Primary. This would have been around February of 43. I think he was at Santa Ana for 8 weeks and maybe had some leave in between, and then was in King City January, February. Another duplicate. Another duplicate. And another duplicate. Here's some names, finally. Don't know what became of these guys other than Art Lowry. There's Dad. And that's wrong. It's a Ryan, but not a PT-13. This is in King City and not Chico. So there's a modern version, a restored version of the PT-22. Simple. Low horsepower radial engine, fixed prop, single wing, fixed gear, durable. I don't even, did it have flaps? Yeah, it kind of looks like it has flaps. Just enough for you and the instructor and learning how to fly. Basic instruments. Altitude, engine, airspeed, engine RPM, oil pressure, mixture and throttle. Real basic. And that's all I got for the collection for King City. So minimize that. Oh, let's see. We can go to the left a little bit now. Back to 300 roughly. What was that? There we go. I think we'll stay at 8,500 for a while. Although, I see here, we don't have any more ridges to go over. And we're staying in this valley. Okay. Looks like we're staying in this valley. So we might, I want to clear these foothills right here before we come down. We might try to do that in a little bit. DH Paradox checking in. Welcome in, buddy.
Yeah, here's the man.
Yeah.
DH is here. Computer all right these days?
Better than it was a few days ago, right, DH? I was relating my story last night of my crash, and then also of your story of your pitfalls. He says by far, for sure. Ah, yeah, looks good. Back in the cockpit. We'll pull back on a little power. Set up for our descent. Get our altitude dialed down. We're going to aim at about 5,500 feet. A nice slow descent. Here's 55. And start dialing down 400 feet a minute. Watch our speed. DH says, so far my PC is behaving normally. Yes, we like.
Nice. Well done.
We like normal.
Yeah, normal is good.
Yes. Airspeed still around 76. Good. Yes, so right now, let's see, where is, if I hover over GPU Z Tech Power, GPU temperature 55, 56. GPU load 100%, which is not unusual. So it's floating between 100 and 93. But overall temp 55, 56. Now if I go open this, I can see the hotspot there. Go to sensors. Hotspot 76 right now. That's really good. No problem there. So start from the bottom here. System memory, RAM used. That would be 24,000. That would be 24 gig, I believe. CPU temperature 52. CPU voltage, GPU voltage 0.9. And I think that's where I came in with the undervolt that your friend was mentioning earlier. Lieutenant Bob checking in. I think the normal voltage was over 1.
He's in the chat now. He says use AMD Adrenalin software.
I have that
for the undervolt.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
That's what he
uses.
uses.
I'll double check that. Yes, I have Adrenaline. So that's good. I won't have to get into the BIOS settings. Watch streak. Lieutenant Bob is on a watch streak of 7 straight streams. Twitch is doing that now, posting watch streaks. Hope all's going well, Bob. Board power draw is 375 watts. I think, let's see, memory used, dedicated memory controller load, GPU load 100%, memory controller load 30%, memory used 17,000 megabytes, so 17 out of those 24 gig is getting used on the GPU. Moving back up further, fan speed on the GPU about 2,700. Looks like. My phone is flashing at me. Just had lunch with Smitty. I saw a photo, Bob, earlier of you and Smitty and his wife. Yeah, that's cool. Bob is located in the Orlando area, and Smitty is on another part of the Flockstock group. He's on a trip to Orlando to visit some family with he and his wife, and a couple of them got together. Fan speed 2,700. Fan speed percentage 80%. So we're not running the GPU fans full out. That's good to know. Memory temperature 66 C. That's a good thing. GPU hotspot 77. That's good. GPU temp 56. Memory clock 2487. GPU clock 26. So all in all, seems pretty healthy. Now watch it crash. Still descending. 300, 400 feet a minute. About ready to pass through 6,000 feet. Headed to 5,500. We need to turn a little bit to the left. Go down to 300. There we go. Keep away from those mountains, and then keep on track on the GPS line. that. Altitude. Compass. Throttle. Wonder why that's passing over. Wonder if that's a throttle in the forward cockpit. Interesting. Oh, Ian, I had an opportunity this summer to take a ride in a T6 Texan.
Oh, lovely.
Oh man, every summer for the last 2 or 3 years, the Commemorative Air Force on their tour has stopped in my hometown here. It's where I live in Des Moines. And last year, I took a ride in a Stearman. The pilot last year for the Stearman, it was a hot day, like mid-90s Fahrenheit. And it was the end of the day, and he wasn't very friendly. He was just there to, I think, give the last ride of the day and get done.
Yeah.
But
to the bar.
this year, the T6 pilot was really cool. And it was the beginning of the day and still a fairly hot day, but I was like the first or second ride of the day. And I don't know if you've been around real life pilots. Sometimes, they're kind of like meh with people who are in the sim or sim pilots, right?
Yeah.
You're like a second citizen.
Sure.
Even though you share a common interest in aviation, right? But this guy with the T6 pilot, he was so cool. I mentioned the connection with my dad of flying the T6 in World War II, and I also mentioned that I was a sim pilot. And he looked at me and he said, "That's exactly what got me into being a pilot back in the 80s." He said the first and he said later on in our conversations, he looked at me and he says, "We're going to get you some stick time today." And I was like, "Okay." I didn't bring it up. I didn't drop any hints or anything. That was totally out of the blue from him. And I said, "Thank you, sir. I would that would be a wonderful opportunity." So we went through.
Right.
So,
Now, I'll tell you something. I
yeah.
know somebody who is connected with the Commemorative Air Force.
Oh, wonderful.
He flies DC-3s.
Okay.
And the B-26, is it?
The Marauder?
That
or
sort of thing.
Okay.
A guy's called Kurt.
Okay.
And I know him from our A2A Misfit Squadron.
Oh,
because he
really?
flies in the sim.
Okay.
And every year he goes on tour and he brings the DC-3 over. He's been over here. When they did that Normandy 80 and 75, he did the ferry route.
Wow.
And I met him here. Yeah.
Very nice.
Old Warden.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Duxford, of course, North Weald, Biggin. So, just as a side there.
Nice.
Very good, Kurt.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a big guy. He's a pilot for Delta.
He wasn't
his day job.
He wasn't from Ohio, was he? This guy was from Ohio. So, do you happen to remember
where his hometown is?
Okay.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Very big.
I'll next flight I'll pull up some photos, and I took a bunch of photos, and I've got a photo with me and him together. So if you happen to join me next week at the same time, you'll get to see who this guy is. So we taxi out. I think it's the first flight of the day. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm positive. So we taxi out. We're at our local, quote unquote international airport, our commercial airport. And we get down to the end of the runway, and there's another commercial flight waiting for us. And he does his run up, and it sounds like crap. The engine is popping, and
Oh.
and farting and
Oh.
backfiring and not sounding good at all, running
Yeah.
rough, and he's totally transparent with me. He says, "Well, that didn't sound good." And I go, "Yeah, I could." And I said, "Yeah, I could kind of feel it back here." And he goes, "Well, I got a couple other things I can try, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure what it is. It's from sitting overnight, and we might have fouled a
Mm.
plug on one of the bottom cylinders." And I said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that kind of makes sense." And so he tried to run up to like 2,000 RPMs, and he held it.
Yeah.
He held it long for like about a minute. To
Yeah. Leaned it right out. Yeah.
leaned it out to try to burn off the
Yeah.
stuff off the plugs, and that still didn't do it. He tried another one after that, and he goes, and he says, "Well, it looks like we're heading back to the shed,"
To
as
the
he
shop.
put,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
as he put
Yeah.
it. And I said, "No problem at all. Better safe than sorry." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah." So we taxied back, and he said, "We'll do our best. I'm pretty sure, we know what it is." And he taxied back, and he had a crew. They have a crew that travels with him, that carries some
Yeah. I know they do. Yeah.
basic.
Absolutely, they do.
So they
Yeah.
had the cowling off the bottom, and it took about 2.5 hours, but he got it back ready. And now it was like late morning, and it was warming up, but got it back up and running. And the second run up was hunky dory. Ran up way smoother, 1,700
Mm.
RPM. It sounded like it should have, and so
Yeah.
we were off. We were off to the races and climbing, and he took me over downtown Des Moines, and then out to the state fairgrounds where the state fair was on. And then we turned which is on the east side of Des Moines. We turned and headed northwest out to a big 800 acre lake that's north of Des Moines. And he got it flying straight and level. And he said, "You want some stick time?" And I go, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, it's your plane. Just keep the wings level.
Just like that.
It's your plane." And he said, "Just keep the wings level. I'll take care of the throttle and the rudder. And you just keep your eye on the horizon and try to keep within a 50-foot or 100-foot range of your altitude." And it was, it wasn't that hard. It was keeping the altitude was the thing. To keeping the fix on the
Mm.
horizon was probably the
Yeah.
toughest. And it was kind of a
Yeah.
blustery day, so the wind. I was fighting the wind a little bit, but I kept it on course. We headed up to the lake, and he says, "Okay, you want to do a turn?" And he goes, and I go, "Yeah, yeah, let's do a turn." And he had me do a left-hand turn first, and he said, "Just keep your reference on the horizon while you're going through the turn, and watch your turn and bank indicator. I'll take care of the rudder, and just watch your artificial horizon, and just ease into the turn and just hold it there." And it was it that was a little tricky. I do this in the sim too, is I did lose a little bit of altitude on the turn, which is common.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, keep your nose up, keep your nose up." And he's prompting me, and he says, "Okay, now level off." And we did a 90-degree turn, and then I did a right hand 90-degree turn, and he was like, "Okay, you did good, no problem there. You had a little, you need a little coaching on keeping your nose up, but that's normal." And he's going, "Yeah, that was
Mm.
fun." And so now we're over the lake, the big lake, and he had told me on the ground on the briefing. He said, once that he knew I was, familiar with aviation and had been in planes before. He said, "I'll take you up. We'll do some basic maneuvers, right?" And and he said, I want you to let me know if you start feeling queasy or start feeling uncomfortable." He had a bag in the cockpit and everything just in case, but I said, "No
Yeah.
problem. I'm usually pretty good on roller coasters and things like that, but that was when I was younger also." So the first thing he did, and he was completely transparent about it. He said exactly what we're going to do before he did it, and he said, "We're going to go into a dive, and then we're going to pull out of the dive, and then pull up, and then do a quick tail over turn to the left. And I usually call those either lazy eights or chandelles. He said, and I said, is that a chandelle? Is that what you call a chandelle? And he says, no, not really. Chandelle's a little bit different. I didn't quiz him, but so we did that. We did that once to the left, and he said, okay, at the bottom of that dive, you probably pulled about 2 Gs, and I was good with it. I didn't feel anything until the second. He did the second one, and he got out of the second one and did the turn, and then you get to the top and you're light, everything's
light, yeah.
You're light as a feather, and then he started to go, and he got out of that, and he didn't go immediately into the third, and I said, those first 2 were good, but I'm starting to feel it just a little bit. And he goes, no problem. And he leveled off, and said, no problem. And he turned, and we were north of the airport then. We had kind of a southerly, maybe like a 172 course to the airport, and we're about 10 miles out. And he got the wings level. He pointed it to the airport, and he says, you're plane. And I was like, okay. And he had me fly it all the way to the airport until, get close enough to where he had to call in, and for a runway and an approach and identification. So I probably had about 10 minutes of stick time in the T6.
Nice. In a T6. Whoa.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
And we'll
that big Allison engine up front.
Oh no, I think it's a Pratt and Whitney.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
of course it is.
It's a radial.
Yeah. Something else. Yeah.
So yeah, that was so much fun. That was just a blast.
Yeah, the toughest ones on those because they love to ground loop. Those T6s on landing.
Yeah.
In the sim as well, it's really hard.
He did an interesting approach, and he told me what the approach was, and it was like a spiral approach. He came in and aligned with the runway that he was going to land on, and then he peeled off to the right and spiraled in, a descending spiral to the right, and then landed. And I think he had a name for it, and I cannot remember what he called it. But I think it was to better see the runway.
Yeah. All those type warbird type tail draggers. You do need to sort of spiral in or circle in. Same with the Spitfire, the Mustang. You can't come in straight and level because you just can't see the runway.
Right.
So you turn in
because the nose.
You turn in so you can see out the side.
Yeah.
And then you straighten up last minute.
Yeah.
And then you line up.
Yeah.
So you'll find a lot of them do that. I do that in the sim all the time because we fly the T6 regularly, the 828 T6. We have it here.
Yeah. I wish they
landing. Yeah.
I wish he would. I wish they would port that over to MSFS.
It's not going to happen. They've said they're not going to develop anything that they've already developed so far.
Oh, bummer.
It's going to be the next one will be a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. DH is chiming in. I would not be able to handle those stunts. Well, I tell you, I tell you, DH, I made sure that I had a very light breakfast that morning, just in case. I'm usually pretty good with stuff like that, but as I get older, it's not the same. But I made sure I didn't eat much for breakfast.
Yeah.
Alicia, y'all were just made different back then. Yeah. So that was next year. Now sometimes they bring a Beach 18, and they can bring more than just one person. Next year, I told my son if they bring the Beach 18, I'll pay for his ride with me in the Beach 18. Because he and I have been up on 2 B-17 rides over the years, and so he likes the warbird experience, and he knew his grandfather and knew of his. He went to 3 reunions when my dad was still alive, so he knows the history and appreciates it. So we're still about 74, 75. How far out are we?
Yeah. Kurt brought, what did he bring when he came over last time for the 80th? He brought That's All Brother, which, as you know, is the lead
Yes.
C-47 on D-Day. So
Yes.
they have that in the commemorative Air Force, and that's the one he flew over.
I got to
And,
see that one.
yeah.
Let's see, not 24, but in 23 when they were touring
Yeah.
around, they were touring with Fifi.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
we got to see That's All Brother,
Yeah.
and they were talking
That's the
about
one he pilots. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
one he pilots.
Oh, he might have been there when I was there, seeing
Yeah. That's
seeing.
his.
No, it wasn't Fifi. It was Doc. They were
Yeah.
touring with Doc at the time.
Right. Yeah.
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 Weston shared a Beach 18 video on our Discord. Good stuff. Feel free to share. Oh, really? Okay. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here first. Flox is chiming in. Yeah, Fifi was this last summer with the T6. Fifi was there too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were.
Hi, Dan. Good evening. Welcome on in. Up the toughest. Yeah, good win today. Nice one.
Freckles,
Welcome.
we need to try an Immelman on the dance floor after return to base. Flox. Oh, goodness. Let's see. So that Discord channel, Flox, do you know which sub-channel that's in, by the way? Is it in general? Let's go to Flox's channel here. Oh, there's some more pictures with Lieutenant Dan. Or not Lieutenant Dan, Lieutenant Bob. What am I saying? Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. So who was it? Was it Piefly? Or Smitty, Dane, Stoll, Flying Dive, Kata Pop Mish. I'm looking for that Beach 18. Long Beach AM, STW, Seafront, Raisins. Well, I gotta go look in chat again. Up a few. General. Oh, it's in general and up a few. Gotcha. Going back. I'm on the other screen doing that. So while you guys watch the flight. General. Okay. General. Okay. Weston. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. There's the link to it. Here's that. Took a few years back. My friend's beach. Okay. Think. Okay, here we go. Getting closer. Excuse me. YouTube. Okay. Okay, so pause it. This is the kind of thing I'm going to have to drag over. It looks like we're in good flight. We got 50% fuel and temperatures are good. And we're at 75 airspeed. Looks good. Okay, so let's drag this over and watch this on YouTube. This is a Beach 18 that a friend of ours on Flox's channel has shared. Okay. And it looks like it's about 26 minutes long, so we're going to jump ahead. So a couple times here. Here we go. Yeah, Beach 18s are really cool. I really like the Beach 18. Neat. Look at that. Nice. See if I can get the start up. You gonna get the start up? There we go. There we go. She popped off. Okay. Jumping ahead a little bit. Taxiing out. It's the first time I've seen this too. This is cool. Somewhere in the Midwest, I see a lot of corn. Taxiing out. Getting real close to the takeoff here, I think. Maybe. Maybe we're still taxiing. Yeah, we're still taxiing. Hang on. Let's get closer. A bit more. Looks like he's waiting. Probably going to do a run up. Yep, there's one run up. Not sure if the sound is coming through. YouTube audio.
Splasher?
Hey, DH. No sound from the vid. Yeah, so hang on a second. Let me see if I can fix that. There. Properties. Chrome, best round trip. Windows, window.
I just wanted to hop in here and mention that. Didn't know if you were seeing that or not. So, yeah.
I can barely hear you, buddy. Hang on just a second. It might be
No, you're good.
a Discord
I just
thing.
wanted to hop in and tell you that. So, yeah.
The audio.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Discord. Foxtrot's Hangar Discord. All right, let's try this. I don't know. All right, hang on a second. Let me know if you can hear it or not. I don't know if that's gonna. I'm not seeing it yet on the meter. Hang on a second. Negative. Gotcha. Working on it. Window match. March title. Otherwise, find a window of same type. Window. Edge game. Search host. Chrome. Oh, here. Let's try this. All right. Okay. Let's see if this does it. There we go. Now we ought to have sound. There we go. Yes. Yeah. Copy that, DH. And there's an add-on for it that's called the Denark improvement for the Beech 18. And I mean, it's sometimes difficult to fly. It's really, you gotta, it comes with a instruction manual, and you gotta read it to know how to start that thing and make it run. Yeah, it's called the Denark Beech 18 improvement. I think it's a freeware. FSTO. There we go. Somebody needs to get out and paint new piano keys on this airport. Yeah, right. Here we go. Be nice if you turn the camera to show a forward perspective, but that's okay. Tail's coming up. There we go. Well, there's a speed indicator, 116, 117. Leveling off to get some ground effect, raise the gear, and then up we go. Yeah, this has got to be the Midwest somewhere. Indiana, Illinois, Iowa. Very flat. Gaining speed, backing off a little bit, leveling off. Very good. 37. Yeah, Avatar looks pretty good, doesn't it? Good one, Bob. Pretty amazing. Yeah. You must be using that, what's that audio patch that's real popular right now, the audio guy. I can't think of his name. Not bad, but it could still be better. Yeah, it's not quite study level yet. Yeah, and that scenery, I don't know, that just looks so FSX. To the point of where he's on approach. I think this whole thing is it's like a half an hour long. Wow, this is wide open and flat. He's got to be in the Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska territory. Yeah, this is way flat. Iowa is a lot more rolling than this is. Think of the Beech 18 flight in our future. Thing's a beautiful looking sound machine. Yeah. Headed. Yeah, DH. This does look like Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. The thing is, though, I don't see any irrigation. I don't see any center pivot irrigation. And if you get out into that territory, you see a lot of crop circles, center pivot irrigation, and I don't see any here. So it's got to be far enough east that they don't need irrigation. But there's places like this in central Illinois that look this flat. Central Illinois and Indiana, definitely. It must be on crosswind because I'm not seeing an. Oh, we've jumped ahead. Here we go. Yeah. I wonder how he gets that speed overlay into his YouTube. I wonder what he's using to do that. That's pretty cool. Is that a what if he got that from flightsim.to? Oh, there's the airfield. There we go. He's on crosswind.
Probably a Garmin product or 4Flight or something like that.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, you can overlay it into YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Part of the app he uses to record. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed it's in miles per hour. So yeah. Interesting to know where he's at. Right. Could be just the phone. Yeah. Wow, it seems like he's coming in fast, but 87, 86. Looks like he touched down at about 80. Right, DH? When a phone was a phone. I remember the stir when the Motorola Razors came out, the flat ones, the first flip Razors. We thought those were quite the thing. That's pretty cool. Thanks for that, Phlox, and thanks. Who do we thank otherwise? Say again who that was. Let's see. Trying to see who that was from. Scrolling up, no sound. View. Fast forward to timer 2. Got that. Weston Steel. Yep. Very cool. That is awesome. You know, I think I buzzed right by that a few days ago when that came up in general. Let me subscribe. Yeah. Von Keebler. I've seen Von Keebler in the sim before. Is that Weston Steel? The same one and the same? All right, let's see how far. Well, we haven't overflown our destination. That's a good thing. Let's get back to the sim. Hello. Still here. Where are we at? Where are we at? We got a ways to go. We still got a ways to get to top of descent even. So Mesa del Rey, or in other words, King City, California. What are we looking like? Winds at the nearest NOAA location. Winds are 0. And we'll see about that. Might do a flyover the airfield to see what the windsock looks like. Okay. Minimize that. Back out in this. There. Let's see. Scroll back down. See what I'm missing in chat. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hit the arrow. Kata's back. Welcome back, Kata. On the phone with my sister. Cool.
Right, so I'm going to take my leave now, Splasher, because I'm working tomorrow, so I've got a
Fair enough.
reasonably early start, and it's 10:30 here at night, so I need to get some sleep.
Yep. Fair enough.
I will catch you on the next one.
Appreciate it,
good
Ian.
Good to see you around on the early flights now.
Thank you so
great.
much.
I can come and
Glad
and talk and chat.
You bet. Glad to have you back. Anytime, buddy.
Yeah, no worries.
Have a good one, mate.
See ya.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Let's get a little plug in for Ian Fisher. All right. So, Ian Fisher. Boy, I think it's Ian Fisher 101. 101? If I get that right. Is that going to be right? Or does he spell it the same way I spell it? That may not be right. Yeah, I think I spelled it right. Wrong. Let's see, where am I going to find him? That is there. That's in Stream Manager. Okay, so we're not going to find it there. Hang on. Let's go back to that. We'll look at it on here. IAN Fisher 101. Why is that not coming up? Rating off with a party of 4. Thank you kindly, Ian. Appreciate it. I was gonna do a shout out, but I might not have got it right. Exclamation SO and then a space IAN FISHER 101. Yeah. My video shout-outs aren't working apparently. Let's see if they're turned on. All right, well, it's showing in the video shout-outs are turned on, but apparently they are non-functional. Thanks for getting that, Phlox. Apparently my video shout out. Well, let's try one with Phlox here. Hang on. We have abundance of shout outs to make. Not Flowtrot. Phlox_trot. BH18 was KIKK. Greater Kankakee. That's Illinois. There's a video. Check out Foxtrot and Treetop. Okay. Kankakee is Illinois. Yeah, that's west of Chicago, western suburbs. You are very welcome. While we're at it, let's just spread out the, let's see, Cada, INARI, right? If I got that right. Yay. There's Cada. She streamed earlier today. And let's see. Looking good. We might want to do a little bit of a heading change to the right, just a wee bit. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. We got left DH. Can't forget about DH paradox. Oh, no. Do it right, Splasher. SO space DH. DH paradox. There we go. Hey. It's an airplane one, DH. It's not ATC. Looking good. You're very welcome. I'm going back over to my son's and daughter-in-law's house tonight to watch the movie F1, Formula One. I have not been able to see that yet. That was a flight I did in Western North Carolina with the Turbo Arrow. Cool. And also tonight, get myself a little bit of dog therapy. So, all right, let's remind ourselves King City, Mesa del Rey, what that looks like. Elevation's only 371 feet, so we're looking at 1,500. And we've got to clear these ridges. And what we could do is once we get up into here, we could come down to our left and descend into this valley. I just remembered to install a little nav map, loading the airport database from the sim now. Cool. Yeah, I haven't done that for a while. It's I need to go in and scenery library is what seems like I always need to update. Let's follow the airplane here. There we go. I do have Navigraph, but I don't always start it and load it right out, every time. I need to start using sim brief more often for my flight planning also. Get into the habit of doing that. But I'm still kind of locked into using the little nav map to create my flight, create my flight plans ahead of time. Yep. Who was it the other day that walked me through SimBrief? Might have been Lieutenant Bob, I believe. And it was more intuitive than I thought it would be. So So, if Lieutenant Bob is still watching and listening, when I started the flight today with this livery version of the Stearman, the autopilot didn't want to work. It was doing the flash and flash in the pan thing again. And this time, what I did was I switched profiles. I went to another profile in the Stream Deck for about 10 seconds, and then while the sim was up and running and everything, and then went back to the default AP that we've been using, and that resurrected it. Because this is the same livery that I was using a couple nights ago when I was test flying the Stearman. And as a matter of fact, I think even the nav mode worked also. So I haven't tried it today, but let's see if nav mode works. The thing about today, though, is that the Octavi is not being lit up. Yeah, see, it's... Let's see if I swipe again to the right. No. Yeah, it's not, there's not a nav function. And it's not working on the Bravo or the Octavi. So anyway, as long as it's heading mode, it's been pretty good. So I'm not too worried if it's not working in nav mode. We got for a wind up here, 13 knot tailwind. Oh wow. But Mesa Del Rey, or the closest one, says 0. So I think we're going to do a flyover first. See what the wind socks tell us. So that valley, wow, we're floating all around here. Wow. Oh, I know why we're so squirrely. It was because of the tailwind. That valley looks pretty good for descending into and following it up to King City. Yeah, we can do that. So we're going to, let's see, we're going to descend to 3,500 feet and turn towards that valley. There's 3,500 feet. We're going to pull out power. And we're going to see what the wind is like down in the valley. And then descend up 400 feet a minute. Then change our heading to the left a little bit. Left a little bit more. So if you're all watching, welcome to, and you're new to the channel, welcome to Splasher 6 Flight Sim. A little background on what I'm doing today is we're doing a flight from Santa Ana, California up to King City, California. My dad was a B-17 pilot in World War II, and what I do every year around November is what I call the Cadet Training Tour. And I fly to all of the locations where he trained at in his pilot training. And then after pilot training, on his way to England, ferrying a B-17 over the North Atlantic route, and all the way to his assigned airfield of the 100th Bomb Group. The same 100th Bomb Group that was portrayed in Masters of the Air a couple years ago on Apple TV Plus, which is still available to watch. And he flew 35 missions between April of 1944 and July of 1944. And then stayed on base and worked in engineering for a while. And then transferred back to the States in December of 44. So every year in November, which is when he started his training in November of 1942, I do a little commemorative 13-part journey. And I'm about to cough, so hold tight just a second. Talking too much. So this is our first leg. So he started out in Santa Ana in November of 42 through January roughly of 43, and then transferred up to King City for what they call primary flight training. Primary is learning how to fly. Basic maneuvers, turning, landing, climbing, descending. In a not in a Stearman. He did not train in a Stearman like a lot of World War II pilots did. He trained in a airplane that's called a Ryan PT-22. And it had a name, and I can't think of it at the moment. Just like all planes had names back then. And here we are following that highway down below to the left of us, which is Highway one. It's the 101. How about that? Heading towards 3,500 feet. See if the wind treats us any better. So does Highway 101 go next to King City? Oh yeah, we're getting really close. So there's San Luca. Yeah, we need to start turning to the right. Keep that highway off to our left wing. And then probably also reduce our target a little bit more to the right. Okay. Come down to 1500. Since we're in the valley now, we can come down a little bit further. "400 feet a minute should be plenty." Keep adjusting our heading. Keep those hills off to our right. Take a look outside. Yeah, a little bit more to the right so we can see that highway. Come down 500 feet a minute. About at 3,000 feet. See what the wind is telling us. Yeah, the wind is still a tailwind, but it's come down quite a bit. It's like 5 knots. Okay. So we're getting really close, probably within visual. Yeah, there's the airfield. I'll step up our descent just a little bit more. Keeping the highway off to our left. Adjust our heading a little bit to the left. Get our altitude, altimeter set, our compass set. Airfield is like right up in here. So we're going to take a little bit more to the left. Approaching 1,500 feet. Hopefully leveling off a little bit. I want I want the airfield off to my left a little bit so I can see. So I can see the windsock. Leveling off at 1,500 feet. I think we're going to drop the autopilot. Trim down a little bit. No, not that much. There we go. See if we can find a windsock. I have a feeling we're going to be doing a left downwind and come back. I have a feeling that's what the wind is doing to us. Get down to 1,000 feet. A little bit more mixture since we're down low. See if I remember where the windsock is on this thing. Up. Let's not do that. We have a windsock somewhere. Somewhere, please. There's a tower. Really? Nothing? Nothing. Anywhere. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, we're coming in from this. We're coming in on 11. Okay. A little more power. Keep ourselves at about 700 feet. Come way out here. We'll have a little bit of a crosswind, but not too much. Come way out here. Make our turn. Look for landmarks. We'll make our turn around this patch of trees. Nice and wide. Don't need a whole lot of speed. See how this works. I'm flying these planes. I try to look for a landmark to turn around. Some kind of anomaly in the groundwork, like a patch of trees, a lake, a farm field that looks different from all the rest, just to give yourself a point of reference. Yep. Tighten up the turn. And head tracking is invaluable. Watching our speed, 80 knots. There's the runway. No flaps on this old bird. Nope. Don't do that. Ugh. There's no alternate view. Yeah, we gotta get slow. Gotta get slow. All right, come off the rudder. Do that. There we go. Yeah, we're going to be way too fast, but we got a long runway. Let's see how we do here. Cut the throttle. We're 80 knots. We're coming in way too fast. Cutting the throttle. That's better. That's better. Pulling back. I'm going to bleed off that to about 60. And let it float in. Come on. Left rudder. No, not that much. Get the tail down. And we missed the turn, but we're still... Whoa, that's really sensitive. We'll turn onto the dirt. Not bad. Of course, we didn't have much wind either. So... Okay. Come on. Move. Really?
Flight 209, now arriving at Gate 8. Gate 9. Gate 10.
Well, how did the brake get placed? That was strange. All right. Oh, now we're going too fast. I haven't quite figured this thing out yet. It's almost like... All right, let's make our turn here. And park. Nice looking modern trainer there. Gary, look out. And stop. All right, now we'll put on the parking brake. All right. Perfect. All right, lock that down. Yeah, Alicia says, remember, Splasher Dude, if your wheels touch down before your ego does, you're doing it right. Yes, from the... Yeah, Alicia, you never fail to amaze me. All right. Mags off. Fuel off. Come on. Click it, I guess. That's the... Click it or ticket. Avionics, master, lights, and let's see. We got to get out of the AP. Come on. Back to the stream. There we go. And Shift C to jump out. There we go. Oh, that's a nice looking plane. There. Lock that down. I'm going to get a shot of that. I'm going to get a picture of that. Sweet. Okay, let's move around. Papa Mish. Papa Mish, welcome in, my friend. What if I never touch down, emotionally anyway? Hello, Mish. Let's see what this looks like from the sunny side. Why am I not going up? I can go left and right. Are you kidding me? We're doing this again? I've got no up or down. All right. At least I can go left or right. It did this to me a few weeks ago. Oh, I'm walking, that's why. Duh. I wasn't in the... Yeah, that looks really good. I like that. I like that. We'll take that. Okay. There should be selfie mode. You know? Is there? Toggle pause. Take photo is A. Focus. Reset horizon. Exposure. There should be selfie mode in this thing. You know? Is there? And I don't know about it? Somebody tell me. I see exit. LB rotate. Exposure. Reset horizon. Focus. Toggle pause. Take photo. Yeah, I don't see anything else. The other thing, okay, we're going to get out of that. The other thing is we're going to monkey around with things. See what we can break. Let's see. Let's get back in and then let's get out this way. Okay. And we're going to see if we can monkey around with the adrenaline to put an overlay on this thing. Video profile, vivid, sports, enhanced, cinematic, cinema classic. I wonder what that does. No. See, this is what I kind of miss about NVIDIA is that, okay, I had it on outdoor. Okay. NVIDIA had this overlay that looked like an old-time movie reel. It had, like grit, and it was in black and white. Open AMD software. All right, let's see if we've got gaming, recording, performance, smart technology. The old saying, can't pour water out of a boot if the instructions are written on the heel. Good one, Mish. That is awesome. Record and stream, performance, smart technology, home. What about gaming? Gaming today, 24/7 display, global display. No, record and stream. Full screen, active, microphone, camera, record desktop, live stream, scene editor, media, or settings. How about scene editor? No. Media? No. Settings? That's why I watch Splasher 6 and the other professionals here. Wow. You're throwing around some big words there, Mish. Professional. Borderless region. Recording profile. Recording. No. Resolution. Streaming profile. Enhanced filtering. What does that do? Improves encoding compression, resulting in image quality. Nope. Video bit rate, recording FPS, audio channel separate, microphone. Instant replay, media in-game, audio capture, video capture. Now, this is not what I'm looking at. I want to go to settings. Snap setting, factory reset, issue report, issue AMD software, up-to-date, manage updates, hardware and drivers, display, audio and video, hotkeys, relive, preferences, display. I wonder what display gives me. Custom color, efficiency, custom resolutions, overrides, display tools, AMD, pixel format, color depth, integer. Lots of syllables. I had to look it up. Good one. Scaling, GPU scaling, visual super resolution, audio and video. Okay. Noise suppression, video profile, outdoor for viewing videos in bright environments, default, cinema classic, enhanced, home video, custom. I added to cinema classic early. Select the video profile. Cinema classic for viewing movies in home theaters and dim environments. That's not it. I'm looking for overlays, hotkeys, relive VR, preferences, in-game overlay. In-game overlay is enabled. But how do I get to maybe a search overlay? Overlay, VR streaming in order. Stream VR, Steam VR install in-game overlay enabled. Yeah, I get that. Game overlay. But how do I change it? Steam VR is not installed. That's VR. Hotkeys. No. Sports Vivid Custom. Brightness. No, that's not it. Gotta pretend to adult for a couple hours. We'll try to get back later this evening. Shenanigans. I will be off this evening. I'm going to my son and daughter-in-law's to watch a movie and get some dog therapy. Scaling, integer, color depth, pixel format, display color, Eyefinity, custom color, color deficiency, custom resolution. Yeah, we may have to do some Google-fying to find this. I just don't see anything. Performance, FPS, GPU 1, global experience enabled, record and video, instant GPF, instant replay, screenshot, current session. All right. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. All right. Let's see who else is flying, who we can raid. Charlie Foxtrot. Let's see what Charlie Foxtrot's doing. He's 3 hours in. And Echelon, Eric Flight. Eric Flight. What about Eric Flight? Let's raid Eric Flight. He's just an hour and a half in. Bear Lodge Fly-In, VUSA Flying Club. Wyoming. Flying to Wyoming. Let's do Eric Flight. All right. Let's go back to mine and there. And thank everybody. Thanks Ian Fisher again for hanging out today and not flying along, but being there in chat and in Discord. and DH and Kata and Phlox and Mish and everybody else. Every time I hear Raid, I hear the Raid bug commercial. I know, Raid! The bugs hollering Raid. I know it. Same here, Kata. Same here. Lieutenant Bob, he reached a 7-stream streak. Say that fast 5 times. Huta with a follow. Got another follower today. That's wonderful. All right, let's get the raid set up. We were going to Eric Flight raid channel. Let's see if he's on the top list anywhere close. He is. There we go. There. Do a raid on Eric Flight. Get the audio turned up.
You have to look at
And start the raid in
Wyoming, right?
10 seconds and counting.
See how they have boxes right there? They tell you the minimum safe altitude to avoid obstacles. So
Next
right now,
flight
6,000
is
feet.
Monday night. Long way down
Lowest
again.
You kind of want to go.
Going to be over the
Go
water.
a little bit lower steps. This cloud's coming in. That
And
tells you. Now, if you look back here, the reason why I'm at
we're
9.5 is
hit the raid. And we'll
says
see you next
8.7,
time. Take
right?
care,
But if you
everybody.
look at my route here, 1,061. So in real life, I probably would have gone 11.5 just to make sure I really had some distance. And then you can descend all you want here. Splasher 6 raiding the stream.